At Morningstar, we don't have any predefined budget authority. It's not as if you come in at this role, you have this much buying authority, but if you come into that role, you have some smaller amount or no buying authority. We've always felt like if you're going to take total responsibility for the enterprise and for your mission, and if you're going to ever hope to achieve your mission, you need to have the ability to acquire the resources that are necessary in order for you to achieve that mission. So it means you have to have some sort of foundation of freedom to do what you need to do in order to achieve your mission when you come into Morningstar. Now, practically speaking, I think that scares a lot of people. They don't understand it. It doesn't make sense in the context of most of the organizations they've seen, heard about, or worked in. But it really kind of is how you live your life, practically speaking, because it's bounded very explicitly by one general principle. And this is the principle. If you're going to do anything in Morningstar, including make a purchase, spending money within Morningstar, you have the freedom to do that, but you're expected to reach out and get those involved who are going to be meaningfully affected by that. That's part one of the principle. The second part is if there are people in the enterprise who have expertise that can meaningfully add value in whatever it is you're doing, whether it's a change you're making or money you're spending, you should get them involved as well. So again, you're expected to use judgment. You have the freedom to spend money. You have the freedom to acquire resources as long as you exercise good judgment and getting those involved who are meaningfully affected by what you're doing and who have some meaningful expertise and can add some additional value. In practice, it's a little bit like most human relationships we have. For example, a marriage. When you're first married, you don't have kind of a sense necessarily of what the relationship's like, and you're trying to develop the boundaries and the rules of your relationship based on your experiences. So in the first week, you'll go buy a loaf of bread. Your wife isn't going to get mad because you didn't call her. And that's right, it shouldn't be. But on the other hand, if that during those early times of the relationship you go out and you make some big purchase like a Ferrari or a house, and you don't have a conversation about it, there's a decent risk that she's going to lose faith in you. Many people come into the enterprise and they recognize this freedom. We're explicit about it. But they're very cautious, and rightfully so. They want to make sure that they don't damage their relationship with their colleagues by doing something foolish and not exercising good judgment. Just like if in the first week of my marriage I go out and buy a Ferrari without talking to my wife about it, that might severely damage my relationship. So most people realize the sort of organization we are. They realize that they have this fundamental freedom, but that wisdom demands that they be cautious and exercise it within the context of the trust that they've developed with their colleagues. And so over time, they begin to feel out the degree to which their colleagues trust them, the degree to which they can exercise that. And that's a good thing. Over time, people's willingness and kind of drive to go out and do big things, make big purchases, and with fewer people involved, it develops, and it's based on their expertise, the degree to which they've done that in the past. Their colleagues have said, hey, that's right, that's good. And so most people are judicious and cautious about how they exercise it. So we found that there isn't a whole lot of need to have very rigid rules and boundaries around what you can and can't spend.